Hey, what's going on, guys? We're here with our Thursday night football play. Of course, it is Tuesday, which is our normal recording schedule. We're still here in Vegas, as you should be able to clearly tell. Our video we dropped for Monday Night Football yesterday, uh, it was like a 99% chance that Derek Carr would have hit his line if he didn't get hurt, because they were still trailing and they still needed to pass at the end. So can't predict injuries. Things happen. That is officially our first prop loss of the Monday Night Football season. We are now 4-1, even though I like to put a little asterisk on that one because of that injury there. But regardless, we're moving on to Thursday Night Football Week 6. Today is actually the launch day of NHL. It's the first game of the season. We have 5 new NHL tools. If you didn't see the email we sent out to you guys earlier today, so on top of us having the prop predictor um, for player props on sportsbooks, the prize picks optimizer. So if you play on the pick 'em apps like that, we also have the NHL moneyline predictor we've added, NHL spread predictor, well, technically the NHL puck line predictor, NHL total predictor. We have the NHL team trends and NHL public betting splits. A lot of cool stuff for you guys. Make sure you check that out. But not doing an NHL video here today. Instead, we are doing our normal Tuesday scenario deal where we are finding a play for Thursday Night Football. So Thursday Night Football is the Seattle Seahawks versus the San Francisco 49ers. Christian McCaffrey is still not going to be playing. I believe I saw a report that the coach of Seattle said that Kenneth Walker should be getting more reps uh, running the ball. And I believe it was who crapped it last week? Oh, Debo Samuel. He like had a horrible week last week for the expectations of people who roster him, like myself in fantasy. But regardless, if we're looking at this, um, Juwan Jennings also had a horrible week, I believe, last week. Let me double check what he did last week. Yeah, he only had 13 yards receiving. I feel like that's a fluke scenario, but the good news, the reason why I like horrible games like this is when you have people that are like 175 yards, 88 yards. Granted, I know that Debo Samuel wasn't playing in these games, but when they have massive yards, it inflates their lines. And so when they have a horrible game like this one against Arizona, that'll kind of recalibrate the receiving yards lines. So this guy has a 28.5 yard line now because of his crappy game, which he's hit in every game this season except for the last one. So I think he's going to be coming back to earth. He's going to not have an amazing game. I mean, 73 is pretty high. I don't know if they think like Debo Samuel's going to be out, but regardless of his rejection, I still think I like him over 28.5. I feel like if he had a decent game last week of maybe like 50 yards, his line would be a little bit higher this week. But I do like this. I do like this one for right now. I think I do anyway. I just realized my main light wasn't even on. I don't know if it changes much. My face is brighter. Look at that. Technology. Uh, but also, even though I like this, because of the scenario I just mentioned, it is technically a baby line. And I've been trying to avoid baby lines. The baby lines are essentially lines that are under 40. So like Jordan Mason, sure, he's a running back, but still, you're simply betting on him to get like one catch. Kenneth Walker, this is like betting on him to get 2 or 3 receptions. Same thing with tight ends and stuff like that. Now, if we go down here to Tyler Lockett, George Kittle, Brandon, these are not baby lines, and the reason why I like to target those over what are baby lines is if I'm putting money on a receiving player prop, I want to know that that player is getting a decent amount of targets. I don't want to put money on something where the player is going to get you know 2 targets and hopefully he catches one of the two. I want somebody like Tyler Lockett who's going to get like 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9 targets. But granted, his projection isn't too much higher than that. So even though this is a baby line, we're going to keep that in our back for our pocket for right now and see if there's anything that's not egregious. Nothing on rushing yards looks good. Nothing on passing yards look good. So yes, I'm pretty positive that Derek Carr would have hit last night if he didn't get hurt. But if you remember the show we did yesterday for you guys, he did not have a 20% difference, and that's what I recommend when targeting player props, looking for the 20. He was only at 15, but still, I'm extremely confident he would hit if he didn't get hurt. Receptions. So maybe we target receptions instead of yards. So he only had one reception last game. 11, 3. Okay, so when we come to the scenario of comparing a single player's receptions versus receiving yards, depending on the line of each of them, you have to think which one is theoretically more likely to happen. Is it easier for him to get 3 yards or 3 receptions and less than 28.5 receiving yards? Or is it more likely for him to get less than 2.5 receptions and still hit 28.5? So to get 3 receptions, 28.5, essentially him getting what, like 9 yards a catch. I think he can get, I feel like he can average more than 9 yards a catch. So my thought process now is if he doesn't his reception line and he only gets 2 catches, can he still hit 28.5 yards? I think so. But I think it's unlikely for him to get 3 receptions and not hit 28.5, which is, of course, why his reception line is has a higher hit rate than or his receiving yards line had higher hit rate than reception yard line. This is just I know I'm talking out loud and I'm kind of going through what my brain is doing. That's the entire purpose of the show. You don't watch the show. You don't watch a show to blindly tail picks. You don't watch the show because you're a fan of losing money and not well, I don't say you're a fan of losing money, but you're a fan of not putting in the work, not hashtag applying yourself. The reason why you're watching this is because you want to be better. You don't not that you want your winning ratio to be better. You want to be better. That's why you're watching me right now talk to you about how to use the tool that I created for you guys. You're watching this to learn how to use the tool. So when I don't do shows anymore, you know that you have 300 videos or 300 episodes like this across all different sports to reference and be like, okay, so when it was NHL season, this is the kind of stuff that he was looking at. When it was NFL season, this is the kind of stuff he was looking at. When it's a single game slate like this is the kind of stuff he's looking at. So make sure that you don't just watch this, plug in a play, and then never pull up the app on your phone and then try to re-implement the thought process that I'm talking through right now, because you're never going to win long term. I can't force you to drink the water. I can only lead you to it. You have to download the app. You have to apply yourself. I gifted you, every single person, I gifted you an indefinite free trial of the app that I emptied my pockets to build for you to help you lose less often. You have an indefinite free trial. You should be utilizing it and milking that to its fullest. You don't have full access to everything, but you do have access to everything. There's no tool that is completely blocked off for you. I give you a little bit of access so you can use the show, use the videos by clicking these buttons up here, learn how to use them. Once you're comfortable in understanding how they work and what to look for, then you go to your profile, which is that little icon here in the top right on desktop, top left on mobile apps. You upgrade your account, get full access, join the rest of us in the Discord, and then crush it on a daily basis across all the different sports we offer. But long story short, that is what we're locking in. I checked everything, and yes, it's a baby line, but I still think nothing else. Yeah, there's nothing else that's jumping out as sexy. But I think just in the line setting theory of his line being cheaper because he only had 1 catch last week, I think that this is something we want to look at here. But of course, because it is a baby line, we're going to be betting a little bit less than we normally do if it was a regular 40 plus receiving yards line. So because the baby line doesn't mean you have to avoid it because I say I don't like them. If you don't like something more than something else, you just bet less of it. But I hope that hits for everybody. Regardless, you're winning by watching and implementing what I'm explaining to you. So no matter what happens with Jennings on Thursday Night Football, you win when you apply yourself. So remember that. I'll see you guys in the next one.